Greetings, fellow YouTuber. My name is Tim. Greetings, fellow YouTuber. My name is Tim. Yes, it is that time again. Go get the neighbors, wake up the kids, grandma and the dog. They'll love it too. Yes, it is time for everybody's favorite cyber cesspool for the next hour. Oh my getting, there's a bunch of garbage going on for the next hour. This is GainerWorld Live. My name is Tim Gainer. As always, thank you so much for joining me. I always appreciate it when you come on by to say hello and do what we do every week, which is we just kind of get together and chat and talk about stuff and read about stories that are happening in the news and just basically let our hair down for about an hour. That's what we've been doing since we started this almost a couple of years ago. April 2020, I think it was. Oh, yeah, almost 3 years ago we've been doing this. And no, we haven't given up yet, and nobody's threatened us with any lawsuits, so hey, that happens. And as a matter of fact, you can see right there, Jimmy Graziano, yeah, he's coming in from Bakersfield. Yeah, I understand. James, how you doing? I always appreciate seeing you, man. Thank you so much for popping by. I do appreciate it. And this is what we do. We just kind of we pop in. As you can see, if you're watching the show live, normally people would be watching the chat over there. Oh no, we bring the chat right to you. It's right there. We have the chat. And so if you're watching the replay, don't worry about, if you're missing anything. And if you want to join in, you can always comment in the comments down below. We do answer you. I won't say when, but yes, we do answer you. So not to worry about that. Anyway, lots of things going on this week. Been a very strange week going on here. MU City Games popping in and say, I finally made it out of the fields of corn. Yeah, MU City alone in the cornfield. That's a terrifying concept right off the top. You know what? And as a matter of fact, I'm glad you guys are here this evening because I really do need your help with something. Happy 4th, according to Robin Newen. Robin, always good to see you, my friend. Thank you so much for popping in. I've got a bunch of stories here this week that I really do want to talk to you guys about. But one of them is, do we want to talk about Colleen Ballinger? I'm just going to put it out there. If you know who she is, let me know if you want to talk about her again tonight. If you don't know who she is, don't worry, you're not missing anything. If you don't want to talk about her, let me know because I'll take your guys' advice on this. I've got the information. I've even got the video, and that's all I'm going to say. If you want to talk about her, we will. If not, that's okay too. The first thing that comes out of anybody's mouth before we go anywhere, James Graziano wants to know, when is Hugs Fest? Hugs Fest is going to be happening. The Hugs Summer Concert Series will be happening Friday and Saturday night, August 18th and 19th in Lisbon, Ohio, at the Eleanor Acres Event Center. All the information that you need is on our website, hugs@wrgg.com, or you can listen to our station, of course, Hugs 24/7 Radio, the home of the unsigned artist, of which we are all happy about. And by the way, that reminds me, I do have a special announcement for everybody. Please stop calling me. No, Cyrus Gray is not dead. No, Cyrus Gray is not sick. No, he has not gone missing. He took the week off. And he is moving out of his house, and he's also working with the New Digs in Connellsville, Pennsylvania. More information on that as it becomes available. But please stop calling us. He's fine, and the regular programming will start next week. Okay? So not to worry about that. So we've got all that going on. We got lots of stuff going on. And as a matter of fact, I think it is just about time that we start the show off right, and we start the show the way that we always do. Get your cards out. It's time for the Deadpool. Let's get into it. Come on. You might remember back in January, there was a story that had to do with Alan Sands gone missing. He went hiking in Mount Baldy in California back in January, and there was a big search that went on for him. According to People magazine, they found him. And unfortunately, the news, if you can tell from this segment, is not good. Julian Sands, 65-year-old actor, according to People magazine, has been confirmed dead. He was found on Tuesday, where the San Fernando Sheriff's Department confirmed that the remains found by recreational hikers in the area of Mount Baldy are that of him. Quote, the identification process for the body located on Mount Baldy on June 24th, 2023 has been completed and was positively identified as 65-year-old Julian Sands of North Hollywood. Manner of death is still under investigation pending further test results. He had a really good, sounded like I said Alan Sands. I didn't mean Alan Sands. I meant Julian Sands. Thank you very much for pointing that out to me, Amy City. You guys keep me honest on this show, and I do appreciate that. Yeah, he had quite a career, actually. He was in A Room with a View in 1985, Warlock in 1989. He was in Arachnophobia in 1990. He had some roles in television. He had roles in Smallville, 24, Crossbones. He was even one of the voice actors in the Jackie Chan adventures. Authorities shared a statement on Twitter from the Sands family last week. They said that they were deeply grateful to the search teams and coordinators that worked tirelessly to find Julian. We continue to hold Julian in our hearts with bright memories of him as a wonderful father, husband, explorer, lover of the natural world and the arts, and as an original and collaborative performer. Yeah, he was in 100 on-screen roles, and you might remember, he was first reported missing in the Baldy Bowl area by his wife Angelina back on January 13th. So unfortunately, gone. Sorry to hear that. 65-year-old Julian Sands, gone at the age of 65. Here's one that I know nobody was looking for. Simon has popped in to say hello, to say who died now. All kinds of people, Simon. Stick around. Let's see. MEC is saying Boxing Helena was one of the best works. Amazing actor. Yes. Speaking of which, and James put it right where it should be. Unfortunately, earlier today, we got the word that Alan Arkin, one of the most versatile actors possibly in the history of Hollywood, has passed away, according to the AP, at the age of 89. His sons Adam, Matthew, and Anthony confirmed their father's death through the actor's publicist today. They said in a statement, quote, from the AP, our father was uniquely talented force of nature, both as an artist and a man. I mean, what do you say about this guy? Just the amount of roles that this guy had. The Russians are coming. Little Miss Sunshine. He was in Arachnophobia as well. He was just amazing. More than 40 years. He also was in Argo, the movie Argo. So yeah, just one of the great character actors that of course, yeah, Inspector Clouseau back in 1965. Um, he started off with that. He was in the Heart is a Lonely Hunter in 1968. He was in Catch 22, one of the great cinematic masterpieces. Catch 22. Just an amazing, amazing person. Yeah. Let's see. He was in Little Murders. He was in The Sunshine Boys. I did some television roles. He was in a short-lived series called Faye. You might remember that one. Yeah, neither do I. I did another one called Harry. He played a night court judge on 100 Center Street on A&E. But yeah, and he was also for you fellow Chicagoans hanging out with us. He was also one of the members of Second City that he played with Mike Nichols and Elaine May. That's pretty good company to keep, if you ask me. So yeah, unfortunately, one of the greats is gone. Alan Arkin passing away, and yeah, that's that was kind of a surprise for everybody. But yeah, that's about all we need for right now. Let's get out of here. That was the report. So checking the tote board real fast. Let's take a look here. Everybody popping in here. Simon said, who died now? We all know that. Noreen Henry popping in. Hello, Noreen. Always good to see you. James wishing everybody a happy 4th, right? And for Simon and everybody else in the UK, we realize that's a day of mourning, and, well, it's the way that is. Amy City saying Glenn Ross. Yeah, he was in that. One of my all-time favorites. Glenn Ross. Love that movie. Remember Coffee is for Closers. That is true. Little Sister Judy from the CEO heading out to FLA, and I think she's just become a gypsy. I'm not sure. She popped in to say hi. Simon said, nah, we got cocky and lost it. Say it loud, say it proud, buddy. I got no problem with it. Normally, I wouldn't do this, but we just got done with the Deadpool. I told you, we got a lot of stuff going on tonight. So we're just going to kind of like blow through a lot of this. But, I normally don't give tips for your Deadpool cards, for updates or things like that. But there is one that I think that we need to keep an eye on. I think we need to add this to the list of closely watched people in Deadpool land, and that is Liza Minnelli. According to a website called Do You Remember, Liza is not doing real well. I mean, we all know, who she was. Her mom was, the great Judy Garland. Her father was, Vincente Minnelli. He was a great film director in his own right. And she singer, actress, dancer, she was totally following in mom's footsteps. But now, apparently, according to Do You Remember, the nostalgia website, the 77-year-old is facing various health challenges. Of course, she's been through the ringer. I mean, she's had encephalitis, she battled alcoholism, she had a jawbone injury. But currently, yes, I will mention it because little sister keeps screaming at me. Yes, she was in Cabaret. She was in the movie version of Cabaret. But unfortunately, these days, she is suffering from dementia. It has kept her out of the public view since her last appearance at the Oscars last year. You might remember that. A close source revealed to Radar Online that the actress is in, quote, really bad shape. And she's being taken care of and monitored closely while being confined to her house. An outsider has said, and this is a quote again, Liza often fidgets Her hands shake and she looks horrible. She sometimes doesn't know who she's talking to and she has a hard time focusing. She rarely leaves the house anymore. She didn't want people to remember her this way. You might remember that she had a brief appearance last year in the Oscars. And the rumor is that she was very upset because they forced her to use a wheelchair. And she didn't want to do that. But what made it really sad was I remember her, she came out on stage with Lady Gaga. And she suddenly at one point didn't know where she was or who she was talking to for about 30 seconds. And Gaga snapped her out of it. That last year's Oscar appearance, according to Michael Feinstein, he said on SiriusXM's The Jess Cagle Show that appearance was devastating for her, so she chose to stay out of the public view because she doesn't want to be remembered that way. She only agreed to appear at the Oscars, according to Michael, if she would be in a director's chair because she was having back trouble. So she leads a quiet and modest life now, far removed from the glamour and extravagance of her earlier years. So, yeah, that's not how we want to remember her now, is it? No, it's not. But unfortunately, that's kind of the way it is. So, yeah, you might want to update your Deadpool cards. Liza Minnelli, much as you hate to admit it, James is saying, I met her once at a Dunkin'. Dude, please tell me she bought you the coffee. Please tell me that. I mean, come on. She's still making millions on Cabaret. You know, she's making serious bank. All right? Simon says she already looks dead. At this stage of the game, yeah, I'm kind of inclined to agree. She's lovely. And little sister says, let's put her and Bruce Willis together in a room. Nah, with Bruce, that'd be really terrible conversation. He said you met Alan Arkin at a Dunkin'. All right, bro, listen. You know, if you've got that kind of an addiction to Dunkin' Donuts coffee, I mean, it's okay. You know, I don't blame you. I'm a Starbucks guy myself. You know, but what do I know? You know, what do I know? Noreen says she'll be the happiest corpse you ever see. I'm here to tell you, can you wipe the smile off this woman's face? Seriously, can you wipe that smile off that woman's face? I don't think so. And she'll dance her way into the grave. So yeah, we got that going. But anyway, got myself a Malibu Bay Breeze. Whoa. Pace yourself there, Jimbo. Pace yourself there, buddy. It's early. I know where you're at. You know, I know it's 5 o'clock somewhere, but it's going to be a long weekend, okay? Just pace yourself, okay? Just saying. Speaking of pacing things and people changing and things like that, we announced this here. We made this prediction last week. It's a bit bold of you to assume she identifies as a woman in this day and age. Who, Liza? Dude, Liza's all woman. Liza is all woman. She was married for a little while to a guy, okay? In fact, David Guest, husband number 4, okay? He's the one that took away a bunch of her fortune and abused her and things like that. Anyway, like I said, speaking of change, we talked about this last week. We made this prediction. Amy City says she's about to identify as deceased. Yeah, update your cards. You never know. We made this prediction, and now it has come to light thanks to pop culture. Yes, it is official. Ryan Seacrest will be replacing Pat Sajak on Wheel of Fortune. So that's going to be happening, but now there's questions. There's questions. Not against Ryan, mind you, because I think it's a great idea. I really think it's a great idea. But you know, everybody knows Pat Sajak's going to be retiring at the end of this season. which I believe is going to be up in December, January. But, back last week, Pat said that that this season will be his last 41 years, which is wild. Ryan has made it official. He said, I'm truly humbled to be stepping into the footsteps of the legendary Pat Sajak. I can say, along with the rest of America, that it's been a privilege and a pure joy to watch Pat and Vanna on our television screens for an unprecedented 40 years, making us smile every night and feel right at home with them. Pat, I love the way that you've always celebrated the contestants and made viewers feel at home. I look forward to learning everything I can from you during this transition. Many people don't know this, but one of my first jobs, and I told you this is why. I told you this is why he was going to get the gig. One of my first jobs, according to Ryan from Pop Culture, was hosting a game show called Click for Merv Griffin 25 years ago. He was a friend of Merv's. And if you don't know, Merv Griffin was the guy that developed and invented Wheel of Fortune. He was the executive producer for a long, long time. So, yeah, this is truly a full circle moment for me, and I'm grateful to Sony for the opportunity. Now, that's the deal with Ryan. Now, the real question is, what is going to happen to Vanna? What is happening with Vanna White? Vanna Wife. Yeah, okay. It's now Ryan has said in his statement, he feels like, he's like, I can't wait to continue the tradition of spinning the wheel and working alongside the great Vanna White. Now, mind you, she is considered a co-host of that show. Think about it. Every night they come out, and now here's your hosts, Pat Sajak and Vanna White. Here's the rub to this, though. Vanna has only been making $3 million a year. I know, poor baby, right? But that's been happening since 2005. She has not gotten a raise in 18 years. Pat has been making $15 million a year. No word yet on how much Ryan's going to make. But here's the deal. Vanna has lawyered up. And there are negotiations going on as you and I speak, fellow YouTuber. She has been said, according to the New York Post, to have hired aggressive powerhouse attorney Brian Friedman, who has represented a slew of Hollywood heavyweights during disputes with the TV networks who employed them. Her terms are to make at least half of what Pat made, which I can understand. I can kind of understand that. I mean, it's a cushy gig once you stop and think about it. But to make, to be able to make $7.5 million a year just for pushing buttons and turning letters, I'm down with that. But a source close to Vanna has told TMZ, quote, after 41 years as a model employee and more the face of that show than Pat, asking for 50% of what he makes seems like a no-brainer. Pardon me. And sources have told TMZ that White is negotiating for the pay disparity between her and Pat to be addressed, considering they're essentially co-hosts of the game show. They're introduced here, the stars of our show, Pat Sajak and Vanna White. So you know what? She has got a legitimate beef about this. She allegedly wants to stay on Wheel. but will consider walking if she doesn't get a minimum of what is fair. This is according to the New York Post. Her contract is reportedly up at the end of the 23-24 season, and she's hoping for a big payday should she stay on the show. So yeah, what do you say about that? Again, like I said, she was only making $3 million to stand there and go, cushy gig, if you ask me. Checking the tote board on all this. James is saying Pat had a coke problem. Wow, come on, James. Come on, Jimmy. Man, you not on this show, man. I ain't got the money for the libel lawyers, okay? Noreen is saying to feel like a genuine comrade. To feel like a genuine comrade to the contestants of Wheel of Fortune. Yeah, I can see that. Vanna's gorgeous. Yeah, I mean, for somebody her age, she's still looking pretty good. Then again, when you're making $3 million a year and you're married to a sheik, yeah, you can afford the tuck every here and there. They definitely had a thing for a while. Pat and Vanna? Oh, I believe it. I totally believe it. Only $3 million, says Simon. Only, says Simon. Only. James says, how much do you make a year? Nah, I ain't making no $3 million, bro. Nope, I'm non-union. Just putting it out there. Yeah. Speaking of women with lots of tucks and nips and probably worth oodles of money, we've got an update from Rolling Stone. Madonna's feeling better. Yeah, if you haven't heard about that, she was hospitalized earlier this week after suffering from what was called a serious bacterial infection. This was the story from Rolling Stone. She's now allegedly resting at home and feeling better. The original statement on Wednesday, Madonna's manager Guy Ossery informed fans that she had to spend several days in the ICU. Full recovery is expected, but added that while her health is improving, she's still under medical care. Now, what does this do for her? What does this do for her tour? According to The Things website, they have canceled the entire tour. She was supposed to go out on tour. In next month, as a matter of fact. She was supposed to start in Vancouver. And it was the tour's theme. It was the 30th anniversary for her first single, Holiday, which we all remember. One of the great 80s tunes. But, after stops in North America, she was going to go to Europe and then would conclude in Amsterdam on December 1st. But her manager now is saying that the tour has been postponed. He's not providing any details. They're not providing any details on if or even when or even if these shows would be rescheduled. He's saying, again, according to The Things, at this time, we'll need to pause all commitments, which includes the tour. We'll share more details with you as soon as we have them, including a new start date for the tour and rescheduled shows. There's, but at the same time, you gotta, I don't want to say this because, it is Madge. It is the material one. But she's 64. And she has had her share of health concerns. So the big question here, I was waiting for somebody to say something in the chat. We'll get to that in a minute. But, given her health, there's concerns of if she will ever tour again. according to the Daily Mail, a source related to Madonna said that her family feared that we're going to lose her amid the recent hospital stay, which, by the way, I heard she was suffering from sepsis, which sucks. I've had it. Trust me on that. It is not pretty. But they're not saying how bad the infection is. For the past couple of days, no one really knew what direction this was going to turn to, and her family was preparing for the worst. That's why they kept it a secret since Saturday. Everyone believed we may lose her, and that was the reality of the situation. But according to the things and according to sources close to her, they're saying that this could very well be her last tour. This may be her final tour. We will definitely keep abreast on that one. And all the best wishes to her. Hope she gets better. Madge, here's to you, hon. Checking the tote board on this. People, I knew it was going to happen. Simon says like she even aged. James is bummed Hugs Fest isn't out in Shelton. Get your tickets. Go to Lisbon, Ohio. Hugs at WRGG.com. Tickets available now at brownpapertickets.com. Norrie said, I thought they canceled the tour. They did. Amu City is saying she is the synthetic material girl. Yeah, I'm inclined to agree with that one. Little sister Judy wants to know, should we put her on the bingo card? I don't know, not yet. Old Madge got a way to go on that one. Amu City says sepsis is what killed Peter Steele. Gee, thanks. Now you tell me. James Graciano says, time for another drink. Saw her in Vegas. She's a breast. I keep it. Go home, James. You're drunk. I'm putting her on the cars. I'm putting her on the card. Yeah, little sister said, I'm putting her on the card. Okay, you can do that. That's not a problem. I wouldn't blame you. I mean, I'm sorry. I keep looking at this picture and I keep going, Madge, come on, honey. What are you thinking? What are you thinking? I mean, there's irony and there's too much, a little too much silicone, if you know what I'm saying. Don't smoke a cigarette at least within 50 yards of Madonna. Yeah. And then, on a piece of good news, there's the, see, I told you there's a lot to go through tonight. And also, like I said, please let me know. I do have a story on the whole thing that's going on with Colleen Ballinger. If you want me to talk about that, please leave a message, let me know in the chat. Or let me know in the comments down below. Well, it won't matter because this is pre-recorded if you're watching it in the comments, and you'll find out by the end of the show. There's also the case of Pete Davidson. Yes, we all know about Pete Davidson. What is it about when you date a Kardashian, you just lose your mind? Well, that's what's happening with Pete, according to TV Showcase. Because sources close to Pete are saying that he has checked into rehab as he is currently struggling with multiple mental health issues. Golly gosharoonie, just imagine the odds, won't you? Dating Kim will do that to you. According to page 6, he checked in to get help with his PTSD and his borderline personality disorder. He's getting the help he needs, according to TV Showcase, for his mental health at the very same facility that his close friend John Mulaney used when he needed help with his addiction to drugs and alcohol. Okay, well, it's apparently apparently the place came highly recommended. Speaking to friends of Pete, Page 6 learned that this hospitalization doesn't come as a total surprise. Pete's had a history of mental health issues. Moreover, his friends confirm that he's been very aware of when he's been struggling and is in need of extra medical assistance. Well, that's that's a good thing. It's good to be self-aware. One of his friends explained to the media outlet Pete regularly does go for rehab for tune-ups and take a mental break, and that's what's happening. Okay. And this happened just a few weeks after he apologized to the head of PETA, People for the Ethical Treatment of Animals, after he left a foul-mouthed rant. Pete, come on, buddy. What are we doing here? We got to be nice to the puppy dogs and the kitty cats. Come on now. Those who follow Pete know that he's landed in headlines a few times recently, as he also charged this month. He was also charged this month with one count of reckless driving after he crashed into a house in Beverly Hills. Another close friend told Page 6, quote, anyone who knows Pete knows that he'll always step up and get help and when he knows he needs it. He has a lot of people in his corner who love him and support him and are proud of him. So, yeah. So, all the best to Pete. He's in there trying to get him, his, even James is saying in the chat, go Pete. Go Pete. Yeah, I don't blame you. That's a good thing, Nothing wrong with that. Nothing wrong with that at all. And Little Sister says that Pete Davidson has to have a problem because when it comes to a Kardashian, you have to be crazy to date one. Hey, all right. I see what you did there. Simon says we got a referral from a friend and got a discount. Yeah, I wonder if there's group rates. That'd be fun. And Little Sister says, yeah, he's nuts. Go Pete, says James. Go Pete. We need you doing those McDonald's commercials. Yeah, that's what I'm talking about. The last few pics, he's trying to be Slim Shady. I can kind of see where you're going with that one. I can see it. I can see it. It's possible. But then again, maybe Kim wanted it that way. Have you ever thought about that? Maybe Kim wanted it that way. Anywho, there's that. And let's get some good news going here, shall we? Shall we get some good news going? Because it's been kind of a weird week, but let's get into some good news. We want to give congratulations to the original Jersey boy, Frankie Valli. Frankie Valli, lead singer of the Four Seasons. You remember the Four Seasons, right? Big Girls Don't Cry, Sherry, 1964, Oh, What a Night. He had a great solo hit, Grease is the Word. Well, according to Bang Premier, and I'll let you figure out what kind of a website that is on your own. According to them, Frankie got married on Monday. Frankie Valli is 89 years old. And not only is he still touring because he's about to do a year-long residency in Las Vegas with the Four Seasons, but he got married for the fourth time. He and Jackie Jacobs, who was a former marketing director for CBS, they tied the knot at a private ceremony at the Westgate Hotel in Vegas on Monday. Yeah, that's kind of cool. He told People magazine, quote, "It's terrific to have found love again at this stage of my life. And of course, wouldn't you know it, that during the ceremony, according to Bang Premier and People magazine, The Four Seasons frontman played his 1967 hit, Can't Take My Eyes Off of You in the background, and then sang it to Jackie as she walked down the aisle. She wore a white bridal gown on her big day and said, we met at a rehearsal restaurant in L.A. where we joined my friends. We kept in touch by phone until he called me and asked me for a date in late 2015, and we've been together ever since. So yes, Viagra is the word. I'm just saying. Oh, yeah. And yeah, he is starting a year-long residency with the Four Seasons. You gotta love that. You gotta love that. 89 is still rocking with the Four Seasons. I wonder if he can hit the high notes. Just asking. Gotta love E-Bang. Yes, I do. I love E-Bang, Noreen. Little sister wants to know, where do you get these sources? Unfortunately, I can't tell you that. That's journalistic integrity. Man Houseman popped in. Man, how's it going, buddy? How's it going? Always good to see you. He said his message is relax. Yes, he does. Relax. Cialis is the word. Which Elvis married him? I don't know. But man, would you love to have been a fly on the wall for that one? Simon said, I stepped out for a second and came back to Viagra. Who's down for a good time? Not like that. But if you do want a good time, might I make a recommendation? Coming from the other side of the world. Yes, he is coming from the other side of the world. I happen to know for a fact where Matt is. Matt currently is in Spain, I believe. Right at you. If you're looking for a good time, look no further than the son of the man who is responsible for bringing to light the statement,
Will Smith just smacked the shit out of me.
Because his son is in the news, as is his mom. Imagine the odds. According to People magazine, Jaden Smith, son of Will Smith, and his mother, Jada Pinkett Smith. According to this in People magazine, Jaden says that his mother, Jada Pinkett Smith, introduced the family to psychedelic drugs. This admission, wait, it gets better. I'm warning you, it gets better. The admission came Friday during the actor's speech at the Psychedelic Science Conference in Denver. This is according to a report from Entertainment Tonight. Oh, man. I think it was my mom, actually, according to Jaden. That was really the first one to make that step for the family. He said to his introduction to the still illegal class of drugs, according to People magazine. It was just her for a really, really long time, and then eventually it trickled and evolved, and everybody found it in their own ways. But did she really do it? Did she really cause the entire family to say,
what the f***?
There is a way to find out, and you'll be able to find out when Worthy, Jada Pinkett Smith's upcoming memoir, drops on October the 17th. Jada has told people exclusively, it all gets answered in the book. In addition, she says that she promises that everything you've ever wondered about her family will be covered. I think people have a lot of assumptions, and you know what? Rightfully so. I have to take ownership for that in regards to the narrative that I've participated in, the falsehoods about myself. In the book, I really explain all of that extensively. As for her own personal use of the aged lysergic, she has said in the past that she turned to plant medicine to help her combat depression. And that admission, of course, came during a 2021. Oh, man. A 2021 episode of Red Table Talk.
That was a greatest night in the history of television.
She said, I struggled with depression for so long, and the thing about the plant medicine is it helps you to feel better. She has also said that she considered taking ayahuasca to combat depression. Basically, all it is she's talking about she does shrooms. Okay, let's call this what it is. All right, as a veteran drug abuser from the 70s, I can honestly say without fear of reservation that that's what's happening here. Okay. As to his use, Jaden is saying that psychedelics helped him discover love and empathy for his family, particularly for his siblings, Willow, 22, and half-brother Trey, 30, with whom Will Smith shares with ex-Cherie Zampino. So he does a lot of shrooms as well. So there you have it. If you really want to know what's going on, Worthy, the new book from Jada Pinkett Smith, October 17th. Be looking for that one, won't you? Yeah. Let's see. James saying they all need Jesus. Yeah. I don't know. You know, I understand if you do enough shrooms, you can see God. And it's organic. You got to love it. Little sister says ketamine and psilocybin. Woohoo. I love Jesus, but I drink a lot. There you go. I won't go near any drugs like that, knowing my luck I'll be thinking a demonic Santa is coming after me to burn me. See, you just got to stop watching Bad Santa. Okay? You just, you just don't watch that movie anymore. And little sister says, I have clients who are on ketamine for depression. Hey, that's all good. Santa's after to bum me. Hey, listen, dude. You know, if that's your fantasy, I'm down with that. I got nothing to worry about that. So anyway, yeah, Jada Pinkett Smith, gotta love her. There is one more thing, and then I definitely, I don't know if we're gonna have time to get into the Colleen thing. Someone like you, but more of a beard, looking down at me, like, come here, boy. Simon, I'm flattered, but I'm straight. Thanks anyway. I feel honored. So, yes, he did, James. Simon went there. You have no idea. You are not familiar with Simon's work. A lot of us here on the show are, and we cringe every time he's in the chat room. What are you doing later, Simon? Oh, English boy has met his match. Stand by, kids. Stand by. this could turn out to
That
be.
was the greatest night in the history of television.
Who knows? Not much but having birthday drinks. Okay, there you go. Well, James is getting drunk too, so go right ahead. Anyway, speaking of drinks, this got sent to me today, and so Simon's flirting with James. James is flirting with Simon in the chat. I feel like Chuck Woolery all of a sudden, just like a cyberspace Jim Lang. It's beautiful. This was sent to me by the see, and this is why I do this. This is why we started. This is about you guys. This is about you guys. Eve Simon says, they call me the hurricane. Exciting at first, but ending in disaster. Oh, man. This was sent by our Florida correspondent earlier today. According to our friends at NBC News, there is going to be something going down on the 4th of July. And I'm not sure how I want to deal with this. I'm really not sure how I want to deal with this. But it comes from our good friends at Pepsi Cola. Gotta love Pepsi. Gotta love them. I must admit, I am a Pepsi fan. I have drank Pepsi for a good portion of my life. In fact, one of the nicest things that could ever happen to me, basically, is that one of the great joys of my life was Pepsi in a glass bottle, ice cold. Can't. And I know I'm getting flack already. As Simon's saying, I'm a Sprite fan. Dr. Pepper, he likes Dr. Pepper. Matt says Pepsi Cola hits the spot. Yes. Just the nickel, not a penny more. But yeah, no, they've gone ahead and done some weird stuff. Okay. They've done some really strange, they've done some really strange stuff in the past. Like, for example, I don't know if you know about this, but I heard that in the past, they had done something called Pepsi-Roni. Pepsi-Roni pizza, where it was a pizza with pepperoni infused with Pepsi. And then you might remember back in 2021, they had Pepsi Peeps, which were Peeps, the marshmallow candies that were infused with Pepsi. But now, come the 4th of July, Independence Day, America's birthday, the soft drink giant is going to do something brand new. Are you ready for Pepsi Cola Chup? And yes, it is exactly what you're thinking it is. It is ketchup infused with Pepsi. They have teamed up with the Culinary Institute of America, the CIA, and they consulted to create the condiment that the beverage company says is ideal to put on hot dogs. According to their tweet yesterday on Twitter, stop the condiment wars. The undisputed champ is here. Pepsi Pepsi Cola Chup. Sweet, salty, and ready to try at select baseball stadiums on July 4th. Hot dogs are hashtag better with Pepsi. And apparently it's true what they're saying. It is true what they're saying. They are going to be at the Arizona Diamondbacks game in Phoenix, Chase Field, section 130 and 131, if you're really looking for it. They're going to be at Yankee Stadium at the Pepsi Lounge, which, by the way, if you are going to the Pepsi Lounge, a Pepsi Lounge ticket will be required because this isn't just any condiment. This is Pepsi Cola Chup. They're also going to be at Target Field for the Twins, the Minnesota Twins, in Section 113, and in Comerica Park when the Tigers play on the 4th in Section 139. Customers can also get a free Pepsi. Go figure. When you buy a hot dog or hot dogs at any of the food outlets or retail locations all weekend long through July 4th. You can also text free Pepsi to 81234. Upload the receipt indicating that they bought a hot dog and a Pepsi in order to be reimbursed the cost of a 20-ounce Pepsi product via PayPal, Venmo, or a digital retail gift card. Yeah. Are you kidding me? Are you kidding me? Oh, Jenny Danzy, Senior Director of Pepsi, TM, has said, quote, Pepsi has long been a part of American culture, and its cool, crisp taste has been a favorite beverage choice for generations of Americans. We also have known that hot dogs taste better with Pepsi, and now the experts think so too. We invented Pepsi Cola Chup to reinforce just how well hot dogs and Pepsi go together. An unapologetically mouth-watering creation that seamlessly merges a condiment with the ultimate hot dog pairing beverage, delivering a unified taste experience. So there you have it. Are you ready? Are you ready for Pepsi Cola Chup? I just want to see the marketing campaign. I just want to see the marketing campaign when if they go mass appeal on this. I want to see. I got to see the marketing campaign. Yeah, okay, and everybody, I can tell what everybody's thinking right about now. James says this is an abomination. Little sister says it sounds disgusting. Noreen said I just threw up in my mouth. MU City is saying, I've heard it described as a liquid version of juicy fruit gum, which is odd since they say it's made from girders. Oh, James just spit up, and he is a fruit stripe kind of guy. Make no mistake about that. James is a fruit stripe kind of guy. And who knows, with him and Simon, I'll take full responsibility for that. Ketchup or Pepsi Chup does not go on hot dogs, says MU City. Okay, we're going to start the whole Chicago thing again. Next up, Pepsi Cold Turd. No, that's what you get after the Pepsi Cold Chup and a couple of hot dogs. Chup sounds like another word for having a chub on. It is, well, you know, it is going on a hot dog. You know, it's going on a weenie, Simon. You know what I'm saying? James says, damn straight. No, not damn straight. Not if you guys can help it. Anyway, that's going to do it from here. I want to thank you guys so much. You guys are messed up. Thank you. It's a gift. We do this every week, dude. And we're glad you're here. We want you to stick around. We want you to stick around, too. Thank you so much for being with us. I certainly do appreciate it. If you like this, hey, this is what we do. We're on the drive for 500 subscribers. Help us out. Like, subscribe, do all that stuff. My name is Tim Gainer. Thank you so much for joining me. Be good to yourselves. Be good to each other. You like the show? Hey, like, subscribe, do all that YouTube stuff. In other words, if you like it, hey, you know what to do. We'll see you next week. We out. Whoa.